Hi, welcome back to Fearful Harmony. Today we have yet another game dev with us today. Game dev, as I previously mentioned, and Sonic enthusiast or Sonic.EXE enthusiast, or both, or neither. I don't know. NotSoDevy. How are you doing today? How are we doing?
Hello, I'm very glad to be here in this fearful harmony thing. But
This really is a fearful harmony.
yeah, it really is a fearful harmony.
And I'm really happy that I've been able to get in contact with as many creepypasta developers as I have. Because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't had great luck doing that. Not that they turned me down, but a lot of them don't have social media. So there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just nice that I was able to reach some people. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. So, kind of starting off with a simple question. What got you into game development in general?
So basically, a couple of years ago, there was this one engine, like a very old engine. Like I found this from a website. It was called Open Sonic, and it was like a game, a fan game, plus with a level editor in it. So like you can make levels with it. But it was pretty limited. So that's when I found out about collecting fusion for I think there was a yeah, specifically Sonic.EXE Spirits of Hell, like that was made on collecting fusion. So like I kind of discovered it, which I pretty much just started game developing, and rest is history.
Yeah. Was Spirits of Hell the oh goodness. It's been a minute. There's a lot with the Sonic EXE with the subtitle. I get them mixed up sometimes. Spirits of Hell was like one of the earlier ones where it was like an expansion of the original game, right?
Yes, it was an expansion of
Okay.
the original game.
I've played so many, I don't even know anymore.
Oh my god, there's some good, some bad, some weird. Like
So what got you into EXE games specifically?
it's a bit of an interesting story. So basically, years ago, there was this. You're not going to believe this, but the reason I got into Sonic.exe was because there was this one video. I think it was called like "Kids React to Sonic.exe." Because yeah, like that's the video that got me to Sonic.exe. I'm not kidding.
That's great. I didn't even
Yeah.
know that existed. I didn't know they reacted to that.
I mean, if you search it up, then you like, yeah, but yeah, that video really that got me into Sonic.exe. That is.
And then just kind of from there did it snowball to getting into game development. You're like, hey, I can make a Sonic EXE game.
Right. Funny enough, I think the first Sonic C game was called Sonic's Nightmare. That was pretty horrible. It's just straight line simulator.
I mean, that was a lot of EXE games back in the day. It's just a straight one, and today sometimes, but it's just a straight walking simulator.
Yeah, you just it's just keep on swimming, but it's just walking and walking.
Yeah. I think one of the first games, because I follow up with a lot of Game Jolt creators. I think the first one I remember that you did was Sonic All Stars. How long
Yeah,
ago was that? That was
I
like
th-
2020, maybe.
I think it was in 2019. I think it
Oh,
was in
dang, it's that
2019. I
long
think.
ago.
Yeah, probably. When I was yeah, that game was probably one of the best Sonic EXE games out there because like it pretty much just combines Sonic EXE, Sally EXE, and Rouge EXE in one.
I will say, kind of like before, I was like, well, I mean, I've always been into EXE games since whenever that first one came out, like 2013. But I remember when I saw that one, that was one of the first ones I saw that was like a complete, I guess, remake of them. Like and stuff like Spirits of Hell existed, and I don't think PC Port was not out at the time. But that idea of reimagining them, and before the Mr. Pixel games came out and all that stuff, seeing All Stars was really cool concept for me. It's like I've never seen this done. And then also I really like the art style of that game, the colors and whatnot. That I don't know, something about the logo specifically, even though it was this is just a basic logo. I really liked how the colors popped on that one. I don't know why I remember that specifically, but
I do appreciate it. Again, it was at the time it was pretty much the best CXE game out there because it was like the ultimate experience of sorts.
yeah. Out of all of the EXE games you worked on, which one do you think was probably one of your favorites?
I think one of my favorites is I think it's I think it's obvious. I think it's Sonic All Stars.exe. I think because yeah, obvious.
Maybe like outside Sonic, because I know you've worked on other games as well, kind of like outside of Sonic. Are there any that maybe like maybe not a lot of people have talked about that you really had like a soft spot for that you worked on?
Well, one of the games that I made was like an April Fool's game. It was called Mario like Super Mario All Stars PC port. Like it was like a joke Mario game because that I did. And oh yeah, another thing. Speaking of exe, I think the one that I'm kind of proud of is Sally.exe retake, aka Sally Broken Heart. Cause
I think I
like
remember seeing that one. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty much just taking the original and making it less of a rip off.
Yeah, I noticed while looking through like your library, I actually want to ask of it. Are you a fan of like the Sally EXE story? Because I know it's not as like a bad thing or anything. A lot of like the games you've done, it kind of been like expired by Sally.exe. Is that something you've been like striving to do? Is like improve on the story? Because you know the original story was a ripoff.
To be honest, not really, cause like Sally is just like the old Sonic creepypasta video, but with like Sonic girl characters. Like it's just a rehash if you think about it.
Yeah, and then the original story was just straight up stolen from the Chilean. Is that their name? The
I think it's
Sonic
pronounced.
creepypasta.
I think it's pronounced Chinlin. Yeah, it's stolen
Chinlin.
from
Sorry,
the
I couldn't
Chinlin.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember I was working on a Sonic.EXE like clones video, and I thought it was fun to include Sally.exe, just like to include it. And then that's when I found out I was like, oh wait, this game is just like actually like a clone, not even of Sonic.EXE, but like, uh, but yeah, no, I feel like not a lot of people touch that one nowadays. I mean, I guess I get it. You know, you don't want to touch something that's like plagiarized or like just like just leave it there, let it to die. But I like that people are trying to spin something that was like not a good situation as something that's good. Yeah. But
Right.
yeah. And then when it comes to like the Sonic games, he's also worked on quite a few non-EXE like Sonic horror games. Specifically, I remember one that I covered was Friendship.
Oh yeah, right. It's pretty much like I think my most popular non-exe game that I've made. Like it's got so popular that I actually did like a classic revamped version of like the original release of the game.
Yeah. What was kind of like the driver, like inspiration behind creating that game?
Basically, I took a lot of inspiration from Sonic 2, specifically the Game Gear Master System version, where there's like an infamous theory where like Tails dies in the bad ending, so I kind of just took inspiration for that and make a game based off of it. Funny enough, I did actually make like a concept image of it, and I posted like on DeviantArt of sorts from 2020. But then I turned it turned into yeah, I know it's dumb, but anyways, I pretty much turned it into a game, and now it has like 2,000 followers, which I'm kind of still surprised about.
Nice, yeah. No, I remember that one stood out to me because I was just trying to find a non-EXE like Sonic horror game because they're surprisingly hard to come by. I mean, not that it's necessarily a bad thing because now the EXE like genre is a lot more than just like the bloody eyes, you know. But like still, every now and then I like to try and seek out things that aren't related to that just to like see what's made.
Yeah, it's pretty much finding the good apples with a lot of bad apples, if you if you know.
Yeah. I think there was another one. I remember playing it, but I got stuck, so I stopped. The Sonic CD one. Does that sound familiar? Am I losing it?
I think you're referring to I think you're referring to another game made by someone.
Sonic CD VHS tapes. That was it.
Oh yeah, right.
There
Sonic
we go.
VHS tapes. Yeah,
I have
right.
the page pulled up.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's.
the game, so I can remember.
I thought it was made by someone else. But we mentioned VHS tapes. Yeah, I actually did help with the game. It's kind of still interesting that the creator helped with us about it, but I'm kind of proud of it.
Wait, you said the creator. Who did you work on with that then? Because I didn't know that was like a multi-person project.
I worked with the person who made the Sonic CD VHS tape series.
Oh, was it based on like analog horror series?
Yeah, I think it's an analog horror series. I think it was made by Olivia Archives.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm glad to remind you of that.
Yeah, what's that about? Because I played the game a while ago. I think it was for my first Sonic video, so that was like a year ago.
To be honest, I'm not sure, but I think from what I remember, I think it's about those like tapes that like people found about like this strange anomaly like in various Sonic CD copies. I think that's what's about. I'll probably have to check.
No, you're good. I mean, you work on a lot of EXE games. I'm sure sometimes you can't like really remember what each of them were about.
Yeah, I mean, I can't catch a break anyways.
Kind of moving away from the ones that you've worked on. Are there any Sonic.EXE games that maybe like are your favorites? I guess to say, from any time period.
Well, I don't have a lot of favorite EXE games because like I don't watch like a lot of them, but of course I think Spirits of Hell was my favorite, and then there was a sequel called Whisper of Soul, which is also my favorite.
That sounds familiar. I think I played that one too.
Yeah,
I've
because it's because it's
okay.
like yeah, it's obviously it's a sequel to the original Spirits of Hell.
And I mean, you've been around kind of like in the EXE community for a while before like this new resurgence of Sonic like in like the like 2021, 22. How do you kind of feel about how the character's been taken? Because I like to talk to all like the people who have been in the community for a while about their thoughts on this stuff. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that as I said before, I think Sonic.EXE has like the great potential to become something great. Cause like as long as there's like creativity and there's the good stuff, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I know. What was I gonna say? It's like there's just so much to it now. Really, like getting more into like the creepypasta and EXE communities. Like as I grow as a creator and like meet more people, there's so much more to it now than I actually thought there was. Because like the Friday Night Funkin' mod came out, I was like, all right, that's cool. Like he's gaining popularity again, and then like maybe in like the past year, I've been talking to more people in the community, like been seeing more stuff on my social media. I'm like, oh my god, this is like actually huge. I did not know this. And that's really cool to see that like something that was once like a pretty niche like guilty pleasure I had basically, because like by like 2019, 2020, the genre was kind of dead. Like it was on its way out. It's really nice seeing that like now there's like a dedicated fan base behind it of people who are transforming it into like something way more than it was.
Yeah, there's like a lot of EXE characters right now. There some are pretty great, like Lord X and Exceller, especially Fatal Error too.
Fatal Error. That sounds familiar.
Oh, it's
I've
the
heard that
red. It's the red EXE character that like it's like yeah. I know Fatal Error.
James,
I
throw
know
a picture up
you.
on screen. I'm sure I've heard of it. There's so many. Not that's a bad thing. I'll say there's just so many. I'm trying to like learn all of that.
Like I could be all day listing the EXEs that I know, but I don't want to do that.
One day I want to like just go through for like a video or something and just like rank every single like Sonic.EXE like game and like character that goes with it, but that's probably gonna be a bit of a it's gonna be a bit of a task.
I say, but don't worry, you'll do it eventually. You'll eventually get there.
Yeah. So kind of going back to like the games you worked on, a lot of like ones I noticed were like kind of like remasters, I guess retakes, I guess, on older EXE games. Are there any that are like in the works right now that you maybe want to talk about? Like I saw specifically there was like a Kirby one. I think that was was that Randy Becker's game?
Oh,
Like the Dreamland?
oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
oh
then
yeah.
the Sonic 2 that you're working on, but I guess that's more of like that's not really a remake. That's more of like just based on the story, but
Yeah. The Kirby game, it's called Hungry for More. It's pretty much a remake of Randy Becker's old game. And yes, Sonic C2, yeah, it's still being worked on. I'm just doing some changes and fixes and such, but it's going pretty well.
I actually haven't. I watched like I think half of the Joe Doughboy video on the story, so I'm a little like out of the loop. What's that story kind of about?
Well, it's pretty much, I think to be in a short story, it's pretty much like the official sequel to the original Sonic C. Some dude, I guess, just finds like a game of sorts and then like there's three more characters. There's like there's Silver first, and then Blaze, and then Sally, and then it pretty much I guess cuts up to there. They did explain about Mighty and Amy being there, but the story just really just never talked about that.
Yeah, that sounds like a Sonic.EXE story.
Yeah, and I guess it's pretty much cliche, of course. It's if it isn't that obvious.
Yeah. How was it an official sequel? Did JC write it?
I think JC did write it. It was originally posted on the wiki, but then it was taken down, and it was like lost media for years until it was found. Like I think it was found in 2022, where they
Yeah, I remember
posted on the
hearing
Bad
about that.
Creepypasta wiki.
See, I was under the influence for the longest time that the like official quote unquote sequel to Sonic.EXE was that one where it was like went by X and it was like a cult and it was like some detective who played the game and I think Rouge was involved. Does that sound familiar at all?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I don't remember. I remember reading that story. I remember like watching videos about it. And for the longest time I kind of just like accepted that was that was like the sequel. So I'm here like, oh, an official sequel was found. I was like, I thought it already existed. But no, I swear, someone in the comments down below, I swear I'm not saying, there was a story where it's like some detective like finding out the cult of Lord X, because I mean fucking JC's a horrible person, but like he's also going in a weird direction with Sonic.EXE, where it's like he was a person and like there was like a cult or something like that. Does this sound familiar at all?
I think I remembered that there was like an ARG. I think it was called Cult of X. I
That
think
was it. Yeah.
I think there was like an Argosaurus, but I guess it just never went anywhere.
I'm kind of fine with that. I don't really like that whole story that was made, but
Bleh.
yeah, no, that's really cool that because like I said, I only watched like a little bit, heard some of the story. I could kind of tell it was a little goofier, but it's cool that like you and like Joe Doughboy and all these people are like taking this goofy story and then just turning it into something actually like creepy.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
And then speaking of future projects, we were just talking about the Sonic.EXE 2. I believe you were also working on a Friday Night Funkin' mod. Is this correct?
Oh yeah, right. It's called Phantom Drive. Yeah, it's a mod I'm doing right now. It's still being made, but yeah, progress is going slow though. But it's doing all right.
What's the mod about?
I guess it's as of right now, it's pretty much like Sonic versus Sonic.EXE next.
Ah,
It's basically like my own take of the original EXE songs.
like from the original mod?
Yeah, there are
Oh, okay.
right. I think there are plans for like a V2 because like I wanted to make something like for V2. I think I plan on having like less EXEs and like probably have more like I don't know. I guess underrated media. I don't know.
You said underrated media?
Yeah, I guess like media that's like never known to say the
That's
least.
pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of my well, like, cause I'm not the biggest Friday Night Funkin' fan. I was kind of around when it came out, but the thing I really like about the mod scene, no matter like how people feel about Friday Night Funkin', is that they're bringing back so many just random obscure ass things, mostly pertaining to like horror and like creepypasta properties. Like I saw a mod about that me creepypasta, the We Deleted You with that character Edeled. Like I never thought that was coming back. That was something I saw when I was like 12 or 13 or however old I was. I was like, oh, it's a silly little creepypasta. Then like a year or two ago I see we have a whole mod about this. I'm like, oh my, what? And then that became like a trend to like take old creepypastas and like old internet stuff and turn it like into mods. I was like, that's just cool. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. There's a lot of mods and like there's probably gonna be more of this soon eventually because you know they're not gonna stop. They're just gonna scrape the part of the internet until there's nothing left.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't mind there. I think my personal favorite, not like song wise, but just like concept wise, is the SpongeBob one that has all the SpongeBob creepypastas in it. Because those were like that's weird to say. That was my childhood right there. So seeing all of those ones, And then obviously like the Mario's Madness and all that stuff. I thought those were very well made.
You should definitely check out a mod called Mistful Crimson Morning.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. The SpongeBob one.
Right,
It has Red Miss Squidward as like the main character, right?
right. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, any characters or potential like concepts you want to talk about that you're gonna explore in your mod?
Well, right now I'm trying to focus on like pretty much like my fan games, like songs based on some of my fan games. Especially the second EXE game called Sonic.EXE: The Beginning, which is just, let me tell you, it's just a Spirits of Hell ripoff. And then there's another game that I made called Sonic.EXE: Phantom Beginning, where there's this character named Phaedon who like possesses the Phantom Ruby of sorts.
No, but that's pretty cool, yeah. And then I believe there's one last thing you want to talk about. This is the one I'm not exactly sure what the game's gonna be about. So if you want to talk about it, Eggman's Secret Base.
Oh right, Eggman's Secret Base Recoded specifically. It's
Oh,
pretty
Recoded,
much
yeah.
right Recoded. It's pretty much like a revamped version of like a now deleted fan game on Game Jolt. It was about Tails like going to like the last, I think it's the last base known like in Green Hills sorts. So like Tails goes there and like Eggman like infects Sonic with some sort of DNA transplant. So then like Eggman dies from Sonic, who's now like has its DNA like shifted of sorts. So then Tails has to like escape. So yeah, pretty much. It's still being made at the moment, but like right now someone's like helping with it. I'm still waiting for like to give me like the source code so like I can do some shit with it.
Yeah. No, that sounds really cool. That also sounds like a pretty cool concept because, like, is that one gonna be horror oriented or is it just like a regular fan game?
I think it's probably going to be just horror oriented, but like not having the Sonic.exe shit.
Yeah.
But
No,
like
that's really cool though.
yeah. If you're wondering why it has Recoded in the title, it's because I'm remaking it.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know that was an original game before. I forgot that it said Recoded at the end of the
Yeah.
title, but yeah, no, that's really cool. Do you remember who made the original one? Because you said
I
it was deleted, or was that yours?
No,
uh,
it was original. It was like the person like I think I know a person who made the original Eggman Secret Base game. I think I'm sorry if I butcher this name right. I think it's Lakitu Moon. I don't know because like that's what they're listed in the credits.
I don't think I've. Yeah, I don't think I heard that one, but that still sounds like a really interesting concept. I'm excited for that. Out of all the projects you're working on, what could your fans maybe expect to see the soonest? Just a guess. You don't have to give like a date or anything.
Well, I'm guessing either Sonic C2 or Phantom Drive.
I will definitely be here for it. I'm excited to see that Eggman Secret Base one as well because that does sound like a really cool concept. But
Yeah.
so with all of my guests, I like to ask a silly little question. So who do you think would win in a fight? So Sonic.EXE, but he's trapped on like a flash drive, or Eggman, but he has no arms and he's getting over the flu.
Oh my gosh, for real?
Who would win a fight?
um, I mean, Eggman. I mean, he has no arms. He's an egg, so he could just throw himself and like break the flash disk of Sonic C. I mean,
But think about it. Could Sonic move the flash drive? Like, is it like in the Lego movie when he's like flopping around the desk? Would it be like that, or?
I mean, it'd be kind of sort of like that, but I don't think Sonic C is ever coming out of that disc soon enough.
All right. What if he managed to make his way onto a computer? Do you think he could win that way or nah?
Probably, but I mean, Eggman does have tricks on his sleeve, so.
But he doesn't have sleeves. His arms are gone.
Oh right. Then Eggman's fucking screwed, bro.
But lastly, kind of like for anybody who's interested in getting into game development or maybe just working on like EXE games in general, do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start getting into that?
Well, if there's one advice I can give them, it's basically just be original. Come up with something that no one has ever done. That's all I'm saying, because, like, most EXE fan games tend to, like, copy from one another, and it produces a funny result. But as long as, like, people have the creativity and mind to be something original, then it'd be great.
Yeah, no, I am seeing a lot more stuff like just like all the different games I'm seeing now, like original, even like the ones that are like retakes on old ones. I'm seeing a lot of like great new ideas and like gameplay gimmicks and all this stuff. And like, I don't know, it's just looking good for the future of EXE games right now. I feel like we're going strong, which is really nice as someone who kind of saw like a drought take place within the community. So yeah, keep
Right.
it up.
Right.
All right. Before we go, anything you want to promote where people could find you at?
Well, first off, I just want to say that they can just, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel, of course. NotSoDevy is my YouTube channel name. Also, go follow me on GameShow and on Twitter as well. Specifically GameShow if I post any updates, that is. Yes, and of course, don't forget to, I guess, follow Phantom Drive and my other games as well, in case if I also do any update post on it.
Follow people on Game Jolt. Follow like games and stuff. That really helps out. I've learned that.
Right.
Because like I'll see like a game with like 100K views or something, and the followers are like 20. I'm like, what's going on? All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come to join us. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to future projects. And
Right.
yeah, do not put random USBs on the ground into your computer because there might be a little hedgehog on there.
But in all seriousness, thank you so much for having me in Fearful Harmony. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. All right. Thank you all for watching. Go play Sonic game. I don't know.
Yeah.